Duchess Megan has always been more than just a member of the British royal family. She's an advocate, a woman who uses her platform to empower others, especially young women. Speaking of which, her recent visit to Girls Inc. of Greater Santa Barbara was yet another testament to her commitment to helping others. But this time, she focused on a topic close to her heart: growing up in the digital age and the impact of bullying. And in light of this, Nina Mysow, in conversation with Neil Wallace on GB News, has admitted that yes, Meghan was bullied out of the royal family and UK. And this is not the first time she has admitted this.
Palace machinery, aided by the media, has done a brilliant job, has done an absolutely brilliant job of tearing them down. And if anybody has read Spare, which is his memoir, you will see detailed many instances where stories were leaked, there was no support, and that really Harry and Meghan were pushed out of this country because they were too popular.
Let's break it all down. During the visit, Meghan opened up about her own experiences. She shared how becoming a global celebrity has subjected her to some of the worst kinds of bullying imaginable. In fact, Meghan herself admitted to being one of the most bullied people in the world, an experience that deeply resonated with the young girls she spoke to. Larissa May, co-founder of #HalfTheStory, described an activity where the girls used emoji signs to express how they'd feel in similar situations. This space of vulnerability was a powerful moment where these young girls could see someone they admire, like Meghan, rise above the hate and use her experiences for good. Now, it's no secret that Meghan's claim is more than valid. Since she first stepped into the public eye as a royal, the British media has consistently targeted her in ways that are far beyond what's considered normal public scrutiny. From being labelled difficult and diva to outright racist comments, the British press went to extreme lengths to attack Meghan. Let's not forget, this bullying wasn't just random or uncoordinated, it was systemic, and as TV broadcaster Nina Mysow recently pointed out, it was designed to force Meghan out of the UK. Nina Mysow, in a recent discussion on GB News, stated what so many of us have known all along. Meghan Markle was bullied out of the UK by both the British media and the royal family. And why? Because her popularity, alongside Prince Harry, began to outshine the future King and Queen, William and Kate. When Meghan and Harry first stepped onto the scene as a royal couple, the public response was electric. Meghan brought a fresh energy to the royal family. Her empathy, her charisma, her modern outlook and relatability. It was exactly what people had been craving. And it didn't take long for her and Harry to become the most popular members of the royal family, right next to Queen Elizabeth herself. But that, Nina Mysow as highlights, was a problem. William and Kate are supposed to be the ones carrying the monarchy forward. They are the future king and queen. So when Harry and Meghan's popularity began to rival and even surpass theirs, it posed a threat to the traditional hierarchy. Instead of celebrating Harry and Meghan's ability to connect with the public and the positive attention they brought to the monarchy, the royal family, and more specifically, William and Kate, felt threatened. Rather than learning from Harry and Meghan, rather than asking for advice on how to connect with the people in the same way, they chose a different route. They used the royal machinery, the royal rota, to smear Meghan and Harry. We've all seen how the palace controls the narrative in the British press. They dictate how the royals are covered. And when William and Kate saw their spotlight dimming, they made sure the press turned on Harry and Meghan. The attacks on Meghan weren't just subtle digs, they were relentless. They painted her as a difficult woman, a diva, even though we now know from staff members that this was completely unfounded. Meghan wasn't difficult. She was simply unwilling to tolerate the toxic environment that exists behind palace walls. She wasn't going to suffer in silence. The British media constantly scrutinised her, often with a racial undertone that many of us recognised immediately. From how she cradled her baby bump to the cost of her baby shower, every move she made was criticised in ways that other members of the royal family never had to endure. Yet, despite all of this, despite the bullying, despite the pressure, despite the systemic attacks on her character, Meghan has risen above it all. And today, she's using her own painful experiences to help others. Her visit to Girls Inc. is just one example of how Meghan is turning her past challenges into a source of strength, not just for herself, but for young women across the world. From Nigeria to Colombia and now Santa Barbara. Here, Meghan spoke to these young girls about their own experiences growing up in the digital age, an age where online bullying has become rampant and where social media often fuels insecurity and self-doubt. Meghan's message to these girls was simple. It's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to ask for help. She shared her own journey, reminding them that even someone as famous as she isn't immune to the hate. But instead of letting it destroy her, she's using it as fuel to empower others. Nina Mysow was right when she said that Meghan was bullied out of the UK by the royal family and the media. It's important to remember that this wasn't just about Meghan stepping back from royal duties. It was about the British establishment trying to silence her because she represented something that couldn't be controlled. Her popularity, her outspokenness, her modern values, they all challenged the outdated systems of the monarchy. And instead of supporting her, they drove her away. But in doing so, they underestimated her. Meghan didn't fade away. She's now stronger than ever, using her platform to advocate for others and spread a message of resilience. Today, Meghan continues to prove that no amount of bullying can diminish her light. Whether it's visiting young girls in Santa Barbara, working with charities, or advocating for mental health, Meghan remains dedicated to making a positive impact on the world. And in doing so, she shows us all that true strength lies in rising above the negativity and using our experiences to lift others. So, yes, Duchess Megan was bullied, but she was never broken. Instead, she's turned her pain into purpose, and she's showing the world what it means to rise above hate. For those who tried to silence her, let this be a reminder. You can't stop someone who's determined to make a difference. Meghan isn't just surviving, she's thriving. Thank you all for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on the Sussex family. Until next time, let's continue to support Harry, Meghan, Archie, and Lilibet as they continue to thrive.